Hello everybody, my name is Brooklyn, otherwise known as TheDramaticOtaku, and welcome to my Secret Life Good Times with Scar cosplay. This idea was actually part of a group cosplay that I'm doing at Supernova. It is a Secret Life cosplay with a Jimmy, a Pearl, and Scar, which will debut at Melbourne Supernova this weekend. I will be basing this off of Scar's sunflower skin, which made its first appearance in roughly episode 6 of Secret Life. Originally, I was going to do his red life skin, however, when I went into the fabric selection stage, I was struggling a lot with what I would use for his design, as I wanted to keep his cosplay as a mostly cosplay, using either clothes that me and my family are trying to throw out, or using fabrics that I already have at my disposal. My sunflower scar is also heavily inspired by the art of Annalise18 on Reddit and IsJazz on YouTube, with the painted sunflowers and the hat specifically being influenced by these two creators. Now, onto the build. To begin was fabric selection, which is where I struggled choosing which version of Scar I was going to do. So originally I had the idea to use this yellow scarf for Scar's sort of wrap, which is like a cloak thing that is depicted in most fan art. Choosing to dye it either green or black based on whether I was going to do red life or sunflower scar, because the scarf had the exact flow I wanted for the wrap, but not the right strength I needed for the original design idea that I had for the wrap, which was sewing a bunch of multicolored sunflowers to it instead of painting it. But after a very fatigued several hour sewing session, I realized it would take up too much time for that effect that wouldn't really actually end up working when pinning the sunflowers to the actual scarf itself. So, looking back into my fabrics, I had two options: a dark blue denim-like fabric that I used for my Scorpio season pants, which was a bit too stiff and heavy, but I had plenty of, or the most perfect color match for Scar's sunflower cloak that just so happened to be really small. So instead of a proper cloak, I would have a piece of fabric strapped around me, which I don't know which one feels more accurate to life series, to be quite honest. Solely based on the fact that I preferred the sunflower idea, I went with the green, adding a gold button flower and a buttonhole onto both ends of a literal rectangle of fabric. The only cut I made onto this fabric was for a test swatch. That is it. But back to the point. As I said, my original idea was sewing flowers to the fabric. However, the overall look of the flowers was bulky even if I ironed it. And the green fabric, while it was stronger than the original scarf that I had, was still really thin for the bulk of the sunflowers that I wanted to make. So, back to the drawing board. I looked at my design interpretation and weighed my options, ending up deciding that painting was probably the best idea, so I went online and purchased some fabric paint. But while I waited for that to arrive, I worked on the hat. So taking a break from the cloak, I moved over to the hat. Originally I wanted a straw hat, which I have had in the past in a very cowboy-like fashion that I currently do not know where that hat is, and either way I think it is destroyed. So, off to Kmart to buy another goddamn hat. No, I couldn't reuse the Psyduck hat as I plan to re-cosplay with that very hat. So, with this new hat as my base, I went through my mum's patch box and pulled out a selection and started to try to figure out where to put some patches onto my hat.
I do like it, just with the daisies around the top. I would like it better if I could do the daisies all around.
Now, you could be wondering why? Well, because I wanted to put sunflowers on my hat, but I only have red sunflowers from a certain frustratingly long cosplay project, and I'm not buying more flowers when I have a major stash of flowers already. Picking through my selections, I ended up on this traffic light of flower patches, which ended up starting a theme of my outfit, having a lot, or at least one set of traffic light flowers on each piece. But not being certain on the placement of these patches just yet, I ended up doing a floral arrangement on the top of the hat, with the red sunflower being a reference to me wanting to do Red Life Scar, and poppies and lilacs, technically lavender, but the lavender looks enough like lilacs that that's all that matters, which is a actual reference to Third Life, where Scar gives Green a quote-unquote bouquet of flowers, asking to be friends in their third life.
I still owe you my first life.
Can we still be friends?
I wonder what that would look like just underneath instead.
I was pretty happy with the arrangement, so I hot glued them down and started trying to place the patches, which took a while for the perfect placement.
Do I like this more? I'll see, maybe if I pull them. I do like this. I think I like this more than the daisies side. Maybe if I move them to just about here-ish. So not directly center, but slightly off center. So it's about here. This placement here is actually a lot better. Okay, so show you where it hit on. If I hold it held like this, I might try and bend it, make it look really Indiana Jones-esque. You won't be able to see it, but if I leave it like this, it should be fine. I might bend it like this, to be honest, but even from the side, you'll be able to see the green flower. I don't know if I'll add the daisies underneath though then.
But I found the placement that I liked under the brim, ironed it to the brim, which did warp the brim a bit, but not too badly. The red and yellow flowers were stuck on pretty good after being ironed, but the green ones struggled a lot, so I had to hand stitch that one to the brim in place. Next, we actually go on to the painting section of this cosplay, which is the jeans and the cloak. So I got the fabric paints originally just for the cloak, but also decided it would look cool on the jeans that I had for Scar, which are secondhand jeans from my mum, which are about like 2 sizes too big, but it's fine. So when testing my fabric paint, I started on the jeans, painting out my original design with white paint to build up opacity, then waiting for them to dry, then going over in different paints. I decided to add 3 flowers to the knee of one leg and then to the cuff of the second leg of the pants, using a piece of cardboard to block out the paint from going through the fabric, which wasn't much when it came down to the denim. Put on both legs, painting a red and green flower. Once again, creating that traffic light of flowers. The cloak was a little bit different, so I used the same cardboard to prevent any fabric paint from going through. I then clipped the cloak fabric to it, penciling out the designs to the fabric so I don't mess up my flowers on the actual proper fabric that I was going to use, with my goal to add flowers to the bottom of the cloak and alternate yellows to add depth to it, as I had a neon yellow and a warmer yellow as well, and even a gold. But when testing directly onto the fabric, I found that the colors, specifically the yellows, were soaking directly through it, and the colors that ended up having the most opacity ended up being the gold, which I used for the middle flowers, or being the gold, which partially I used for the petals of flowers and partially for the actual like center, mixed yellow with gold and brown. So I had to do a white undercoat for most of the flowers to get the opacity that I wanted as well, which means that the underside of the cloak will have a lot of white splotches, which I didn't really want, but I can't do much about with how little time that I have. Between coats, I dried the fabric with a hairdryer to speed up the process, and then going over the same area in the coloured paints. And once again, I added the traffic lights. Once both pieces were fully dry, I ironed the painted areas using a piece of fabric to act as a barrier in case there were some portions that were still in fact wet. And this is how the final coat looks. So let's go through my build of the cosplay, including some makeup that I decided to do for Scar, which actually includes scars. It's so cute! Oh my god, I actually love it. And if I wear it like this, okay, I can't wear it like this because all the white underneath. I have to wear it on its side, but it's really cute. I can also adjust it like this. for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed this video and this cosplay build. I really enjoyed making it, especially since this is actually mostly a closet cosplay and I didn't actually spend that much money on the parts that I did need to buy, and I'm really happy with it. So yeah, I will be cosplaying this at Supernova this weekend, so if you see me, come and say hi, and I hope you guys enjoyed. Obviously there are some things I do want to change about this cosplay, such as the cape. I really would like to have proper fabric, like a hood and all that sort of stuff for it. However, with the time crunch that I'm under and me unable to go to spotlight, this is the best with what we're going to work with, especially with me wanting to look more like the sunflower scar from Secret Life. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed. I really enjoyed making this cosplay, and there should be some photos up on my Instagram this weekend. Hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you all next week. Bye!